BeastNet Podcast, sponsored in part by James Safety Services, OCR Buddy, and supported by the fitness community. Here we discuss all things fitness related, running, rucking, mental health and preparedness, and of course, obstacle course racing. Welcome to the BeastNet.
Hey everybody, Mike with BeastNet here, and on this episode with me, I'm really happy to do this one. I got with me Josh Hamilton from Battle Miles. Josh, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, I know what Battle Miles is because I love it, but I don't know a whole lot about you. So tell us a little about you.
I'm currently a full-time police officer. I started Battle Miles, a virtual race company. I haven't seen anybody put a spin on virtual races, making it tough and more competitive with leaderboards and stuff. So I decided to just take the initiative and create Battle Miles. And so far, it looks like a lot of people are interested in it and joined up. And it's been pretty fun organizing tough races and stuff.
And they are tough. I love them. So I've done all of the original 12, and I've done Black Ops since I think it started in September.
It was September. Yeah, it started in September.
So I did do the very first, and I can't mention what they are, but the very first one of Black Ops, I didn't get the opportunity to finish it till December, but I did all the other ones in the month they were supposed to. But
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, usually I set it up to where like you ship it out every month, and if you can't do it that month, it's not the end of the world. You can always set it aside and take on a challenge whenever it's convenient. That's kind of what's great about Black Ops.
Yeah, and kind of what I did is, I do it with the Black Ops, especially if I don't, the second I get them, except for like last month, I was able to get what I was supposed to do early. So by the time I got the medal, I'd already actually done it. I will take them and I actually stick them to my cork board, which is right behind this computer. So anytime I sit at my computer to do homework, to do any kind of work, like staring right at me is that little packet.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. That's it. It keeps you motivated.
Yeah, with that Black Ops going, I need to do that. And that's what I did with the what was it, Tombstone? Or no, what was the first one?
Dread.
Yeah, so yeah. Dread sat there for months going, you need to do this. But it was a daunting task because of what it asked me to do. For me, was about a 10-hour commitment. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that was a tough one to roll out for the very first one. But we went all out and.
Oh, you did. And I was one of those, I just kept looking at it and I kept saying, I'm going to do it in the spring. And then it worked out because for my birthday, I challenged myself to run my age.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was, 43 miles, which for anyone who knows what Dread is, that was close to what I needed to finish that. So for me, and
that's
it's
incredible.
It's different for other people, but yeah, I actually, for me, that's what I needed to finish that one. So it was, I needed a good amount of time.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about them. There's something different. It's one of those things I talk to a lot of people about, like me, when I started running, it was just to do exercise and stuff like that, but then it got boring.
Yep.
So then I started doing, OCR type races, and then that kind of got cookie cutter and boring on some of them. And then when COVID shut everything down, I'm like, well, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Someone told me about Battle Miles, and I looked it up and I'm like, well, this looks stupid. Where do I sign up?
Yeah, it's kind of so we started, I came up with the idea in 2018, and then I got with my wife, Holly. She helped me start the business. We launched it officially in 2019, I think of January 1st. And we started out with, 10 burpees per mile. We had the 5K with like a 10-pound weight vest. Played around with that idea. It was kind of risky because, you have a lot of metals manufactured, and you invest a lot of money. You don't know if anybody's crazy enough to sign up for these like death races and stuff. But I knew I would. If it's something that I would enjoy, I figured that other runners would enjoy it. There's got to be more runners out there that want to do more than just running. They want to get more heavy involved in some real challenges. It just makes you feel good when you complete it. And you're just like, wow, I can't believe I just did that. That's absolutely insane.
Yeah, and it gives you more than, because my biggest problem was I started, for those, a lot of listeners know, this time last year I was 285 pounds. I'm 185 right now. So part of my journey was running, But then part of the thing I ran into too is I started noticing that like I went to do like monkey bars, at a park, and I didn't really, even though I was like 50 pounds less, I didn't have the strength to really do them that well. And I'm like, well, shoot, I've been running like mad, but I haven't been doing anything else. And then someone told me about battle miles, and I'm like, well, this is interesting. I could throw on the vest. I did the very first race I did because, well, I don't research, and someone said, hey, let's do this, was one, which is 1 mile, which sounds easy, but it's not. It was not the one to start with.
When I created one, I was like, okay, we got to have a 1 mile race, but who's going to sign up for 1 mile race? I'm like, how can I make a 1 mile race almost, if not more difficult than the death race that we have? So John Medvac was a huge influence on that. He was always talking about rucking stuff, and like, hey, what if we do like 100 pounds in like 1 mile, and at the end, let's stay to the battle miles tradition and do burpees at the end of the mile. So like, let's just do sandbag burpees. And I'm a big believer in running with weight vests, just because I'm in law enforcement. Kind of like in law enforcement, you're moving around and doing a lot of foot chases and a lot of heavy gear. So when I'm off work and training, I like to try to put myself in that kind of scenario and wear weight vests and stuff. And that's kind of how the weight vest came into play with battle miles. Why not do a 5K with the weight vests? I mean, how crazy is that? Let's launch it. I don't see anybody else doing it. So now you can see them popping up all over the place now, which is great. Weight vests are becoming increasingly more popular.
Yeah, but I mean, you were the first, and I love the fact your ingenuity. I mean, it's something different all the time. Like I said, one was brutal, and I bought the full race pack, and I've done them all.
Oh, the all race bundle.
Yep, the all race bundle, and I've done all of them. And actually, I'm one of those. I want to do impossible, but my brain keeps telling me it's like I want to go back and redo all of them again. The all race bundle. So I think I've got to convince the wife to let me buy it again. But I'm going to buy the all race bundle again, and then do them all over again because I did some of them during the weight loss.
Okay.
So it's kind of like I feel like I just completed them, like I just did them, and I didn't give them my as much as I can. And now I'm like I want to go through and crush each one of them, and then go for the impossible.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely doing death race again because I have a couple friends that want to do it, and I told them I'd do it with them, which was brutal. I love that.
When are you planning on doing it?
We're gonna do it. I think we're gonna do it in July. Because they want to train for it. I want to do it tomorrow, but
so we're actually preparing to do a reboot on the death race, just to redo the design, work our new logo into it, and we're gonna go all out. So it's gonna look amazing. Even though the poster already looks awesome, metal looks awesome, but we're gonna make sure that we're gonna top that and make sure that the death race looks amazing with the new logo. So it should be. I'm hoping to launch that either early April or late April sometime. So yeah, that will give you a reason to do it again for sure. Have a new metal, new artwork. It's going to be the same race, same challenge, but just new look, the new logo.
Yeah. Which I mean, I loved it. It was one of those ones. Me and my friend Brian Case, who we do a lot of them together. We did it. Unfortunately, when we went to go do that one, he was only I think 2 weeks off of having pneumonia, and he's a corrections officer. So it was kind of one of those, and it's like. And he kills these races normally. We hit about the 20-mile mark because we're doing 10-mile loops. And I kind of look over at him and he's stumbling and he almost looked drunk. And I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I don't think I can continue. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to be a dick, but is it okay if I keep going?
Did he stay in it or no?
He stepped out. He ended up doing it again, I think about about a month later. He did it himself, but I finished it. I kept going. I'm like, I'm going to go for it. So I finished the last 10 miles by myself, but
that's awesome.
It was brutal, and I definitely want to do it again. And I have some friends that, they keep talking about it, and I'm like, okay, I'll do it with all of you. Let's do it in July. We picked a date. I can't remember. It's the second weekend in July, I think, and we're all just going to go do it together as a group just to get, to get some more people out there doing it. Cause I mean, that's what I love about these. Like I said, it's something different. I mean, it's something different every time, and it smokes you.
So that was my goal. Was I didn't want to keep doing the same stuff. I want to keep people guessing and change it up as much as I can. Have variety of different challenges and races, and but I also want it to be like every mile you'd have to do some kind of workout, no matter what it is. Whatever race you're doing, I want it to be either that or a weight vest involved.
Yeah, which is amazing because it changes things up. You run for that mile, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, now you're done running. Now do this workout that's going to smoke your legs, and then go run another mile. And you're like, okay, this is weird.
So on paper, sometimes it doesn't look too bad when you go to do it. Even a 2-miler, I mean, so like it's just 10 burpees per mile. So you're not going to do 22 miles and 20 burpees total. But when you add in that the competition, that competitive element of racing for time, it changes things up. I mean, when you're racing all out, the 2-miler, I mean, you could probably throw up at the end.
Yeah.
You're running, all
I
out.
know, and I got some funny looks when I did a couple of them. I think I can't remember which one. I think it was a 5-mile with burpees, and every time I was running on a trail, and it was basically doing loops on this trail in a park, and every time my headsets would say mile, literally just drop in the middle of the trail and start doing burpees. And there was a couple people like, "What the hell are you doing?"
Yeah.
Okay,
All right, and now we're going to take a quick pause so we can hear from our sponsors.
Does your business need first aid, AED, OSHA, flagging, or other safety training? James Safety Services is your one-stop shop. Find them on Facebook today at James Safety Services WA and ask for a quote on hosting your training needs.
And we're back.
So you've done them all 12 races in the series?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have you had the chance to look over the Impossible race yet, or?
I haven't, because I know that one you can't see what it is till you order it. So,
okay.
I mean, I want to. I haven't ordered it yet, but it's on my list. But like I said, it was kind of one of those I wanted to reorder, and it's one of those things for me. I didn't report a couple of my races.
Oh, gotcha.
So it was like one of those, I didn't report them because I didn't feel like I did that good on them.
Yeah.
But I still, at the same time, just because of the way my brain works, I don't want to do them again until I buy them.
Yeah.
So, because I already did them once, but I want to do them all, and I'm trying to figure out, kind of maybe do them in order, for fun, but I just want to get them all and do them all over again. So.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite races. I think everyone should give it a shot at some point, just to see. I mean, somebody might be crazy enough to go all in and train for it for a long time and just maybe actually accomplish it. I'd like to see that one day. David Goggins is a pretty big motivational speaker. I would love to get him challenged to do it one day. Bigger.
It's on my list. I think when I order the all bundle, I think I'm going to order it with them, since I've done it. I've done them all, and I actually, because you're not supposed to be able to order it until you've done them all, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah,
so
we do audits where we'll see when an order comes in. We'll check, and we can quickly see who's completed what races and stuff, and then we'll just send out the Impossible race.
Yeah, and like I said, that's part of my thing now is I know I didn't report a few of them because I didn't feel like I did well enough. So that's kind of why I want to do them all over again too, because then I'm going to make sure to do them and report them. So because I can't, and I don't remember which ones I didn't report. I'm like, I don't know.
We also thought about we came up with the idea of doing something similar for Black Ops, like say once you've become the rank operator, where you've completed 12 Black Ops challenges. We thought about doing kind of like an impossible mission for the series, so that way it's just something extremely challenging that you can we just send out to you once you've completed 12 Black Ops challenges. So that's something I
like that.
Yeah, we thought it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, and for those that don't know, Black Ops, it's literally a once a month thing. You're not supposed to tell anyone what it is, what the challenge was. You get it in the mail, you do it, and all you do is you post maybe done. I did it, and that's it. It's like you're not supposed to say what it is. You're not even supposed to show the medal. I made that mistake. Don't do that. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was a really cool concept. I really enjoy. We get together as a team. We come up with challenges, and I get messages all the time of suggestions to do for a Black Ops month. And anybody's listening is always welcome to shoot us a message. Say, hey, I got a few ideas for Black Ops. I think you guys can incorporate or try one month. Usually we'll give credit. John Medback has been really big about sending us ideas and stuff, and because he was a champion, we wanted to do a special month for him.
Yeah, and that's this month, and I'm scared. So.
Yeah, so I'm pretty excited about that. That's going to be sent out today, actually. Those are going out today and tomorrow.
Nice.
So
yeah, and that's been John's a good one. I've seen some of that when it was one of those. I was glad that I got to I got to do the championships this year. I didn't make it past the first round, but I still did all the challenges for each round. But I got in because I finished the death race. So it was kind of one of those that I haven't. One of these days I'll get first in something, but I finished the death race. So that got me into the challenge.
Do you like the BeastNet? Do you want to keep hearing it? Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and more at BeastNetPod.
So I think a secret to getting first place in battle miles. So it's a bonus if you're listening. A lot of people don't take on the longer distance races. You'll notice like you'll have like 100 people try the 2-miler, a lot of competition, but you got like 4 people trying out for the 10-miler. So if you go compete in a 10-miler, just go all in. And races suck, and you have a likely chance of taking first place in a 10-miler or X-miler or something like that.
I like the half-mile tribute.
Yeah. So
which I'm going to do that one again.
Yeah. So that's what makes battle miles great. There's a lot of tough challenges that some people kind of stay away from, and until they train up. Just go ahead and dive into it. You never know. Just go all in, and it'll pay off in the end. You'll take first place and qualify for the Battle Miles Championship, which is another great thing that this year we'll go all out for sure, especially with art. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we love artwork. We love posters and
which is awesome, because I mean, it's some of the things, like I have a fridge that's in the garage right next to my punching bag, and on that fridge is like all the magnets. Everyone that I finish, it has a magnet that goes up on that fridge. And then it's funny, like the way the Battle Miles like medals have kind of taken my place of honor right in front of my treadmill. So if I'm running on the treadmill, I'm looking at all the Battle Miles stuff that I have, and all the patches. And I mean, because it's not just the medals, it's patches, it's dog tags. There's something different depending on some of them. And I mean, it's pretty cool the way you do that. And I mean, even some bracelets, I mean, it's something different.
Yeah.
So
I love dog tags, but we understand a lot of people like traditional finisher medals, so we try to change it up. I think the dog tags are my personal favorite. I love the little dog tags.
I like the dog tags. I like the patches too. Patches are cool, but the big thing I'm running out of room on my wall for patches. But
that's why someone suggested the idea of Velcro in the sandbag. So our sandbags now have Velcro on the front where you can display your finisher patches. So I thought that was unique. And also you can put them on your weight vest too. But I'm big fan of the patches too. I think those are really cool, and we're definitely going to be coming out with more of those for sure. Like probably almost every single time you get a Black Ops challenge, there's going to be a patch in it. Unless it's just, usually if there's a weight vest involved, there's going to be a patch. That's usually how the good rule of thumb for battle miles and what to expect.
Yeah, and see, I definitely want to do the 13 miler again, the half tribute, because on New Year's, when I went to go do the New Year's challenge, my buddy Brian Case gave me a new vest, one of his older ones that fits better. So, because that was my big problem I had. At 285 pounds, when I bought my vest, it fit really good. But 185 pounds, I can't get it. Like, I've literally pulled it so tight that the D-rings are touching.
Oh, wow.
And it's still not like tight. So I couldn't get it tight enough. So trying to run, it bounced. So he gave me one of his old ones that fit much better. Now I'll be able to run better with it.
Yeah, that's the key with the weight vest. You got to either put on a hoodie or just adjust the straps as much as you can. The tighter it is, the less likely it is to bounce. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah, I've done that. I figured out one of the best ways is, tighten it as good as you can. And then also I'll take my hydro pack and put it on, because it's got that strap right here across the front that also helps hold it in place. But because if they bounce, you end up with huge bruises on your shoulders.
So it's crazy that people run with like weight vests and stuff. It's really challenging. So we thought about, we're still brainstorming what else can people run with. It sounds crazy, but we even considered sledgehammers, carrying a sledgehammer while you're running, but it's kind of dangerous. But
people look at you weird when you're carrying a sledgehammer.
I know those look at you pretty strange, but we even considered that and some other things that we thought would be pretty cool. So who knows? 2021 is still only February, so we could have some crazy stuff come out that people might be interested in. I don't know. We're always open for suggestions, and I don't know. It's gonna be a good time.
And like I said, I mean, it's become one of my favorites. Especially with the virtuals. Out of the virtuals, it's my absolute favorite, because it's just, there's so many different challenges, and the community. on the
Oh
Facebook
yeah.
page. The Battle Miles competitors community is just amazing.
Yeah, the Facebook group is so supportive. And I remember when we started it, it was actually, I launched it and I invited John Medback because he's pretty heavy into the Battle Mouse community and sending us messages and stuff. And I think we had, who else do we have that joined in? There's only a couple of us talking at first. And then within like a month, we had like 500 people in the group. And then a month later, we're close to 1,500. And everybody's so supportive, sharing memes. And anytime somebody posts something about finishing a race, that's what makes the community great, is when you're cheering each other on. And hey, we're all nutcases doing these insane challenges. Let's continue to grow as athletes and keep pushing each other and cheering each other on. So that way, I mean, so what's great about the community too is it gives you, it's more than just a virtual race, in my opinion. Like some people look at virtual race where you're not really running with anybody, but in this community, you're running together. You're sharing each other's stories and stuff, and you don't have to wait for 3 months for the next race event. You can go ahead and dive right into Battle Miles, and that's one thing I love about the whole concept, and I really appreciate the whole community.
Yeah,
can't thank them enough for always being supportive to each other, not being rude or anything. It's a great community. That's all I can say.
Yeah, it's an amazing community. I mean, like I said, I've got my buddy Brian. We do a lot together. A lot of the Black Ops. He'll send me a message once we know what it is and say, "Hey, what are you doing Saturday? You want to go meet up at the here and do Black Ops, or go meet up here?" We did the New Year's one together at a park by his house, on some trails, and got to try out my new mud shoes on that day while doing the 5K, or no, it was a 10K. I don't remember. It was a lot though. With the best. Yeah. And yeah, it's nice to get out and have somebody with that. And then also, like you said, I mean, even when I'm not with somebody, I'm posting things like, hey, what about, questions? How do you guys deal with this? How do you deal with that? And I mean, everyone's so helpful. So it's awesome.
Yeah, my goal is to definitely add in some challenges into the group itself. So it's more than just a Facebook group where we're cheering each other on. I also want, we got the challenge drops, where you can get a chance at free first place medals. So like you could see it, and like all you got to do is go, drops, go run a mile or whatever the challenge is, and post your proof, and you win a first place medal, and you don't have to pay for anything. But I'd like to incorporate the squad challenge back into the group in some kind of free way, so people can compete together as in teams for like challenge drops and that kind of thing. So I'm working on that.
That'd be cool.
I think that'd be pretty cool, is just get more people competing in the group and cheering each other on, and just make it more than just, hey, I finished this challenge this weekend. Well, we're also doing challenges in the group every month. So I'm pretty excited. We got a lot of cool ideas for this year. So it's a lot of fun.
I can't wait to see them. I mean, that's been yeah. So like I said, I love that. I've gotten one challenge drop. I did get, I think there was 3 of us that you gave all of us, but it was one that actually I was in the middle of a run, and I happened to just look and I saw, and I'm like, well, shoot, I guess I'm going to have to go. It was like, you had to just go out and run 3 miles like right now. And I'm like, well, I'm already like 2 miles in. So here's my mark showing that I was 2 miles in when I saw this. And now I'm going to go run another 3 just so I can get, finish this. But so
I get some messages sometimes like, it'd be great if you post a challenge drop, like, mid Saturday after everybody's already been done running or getting ready to sit down and relax. Like, you should totally drop a challenge drop, and or at 2:00 in the morning when people are sleeping or tired. And that's what we try to do. We try to throw in challenge drops whenever people aren't expecting it, just to see how far you want to just get up and go to just be competitive. And I love that. I think it's one of the coolest things we've done the group. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. I mean, it is. I mean, I've done a couple. I know when I did because I've done the half tribute twice, because I did it once earlier in the year, and then I did it again for the championship, because it was the first round. And I remember when it dropped, and it was like, go do this, and I'm like, well, I was about to go for a run anyway, might as well. And I threw on the vest and literally just ran out the door and just started doing it right after you said it.
That's awesome.
I'm like, yeah, might as well, let's go do it. So it, like I said, it gives you different challenges. It gives you new things to do. It's actually a couple times it's shown me where I've lacked in training. Like a couple of ones that you've done recently, you've had sit-ups. And I haven't been doing sit-ups enough, obviously, because I went to go do the sit-ups and I'm like, this sucks. And it's like, well, that's something I obviously need to work on. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's what. If there's a weakness, we're going to try to find it.
Yep. And
So
that's
that's
it. I mean,
great.
and that's the nice part. Like I said, it's mixed. There's burpees, there's push-ups, there's air squats, sit-ups, sometimes with a vest, sometimes without, sometimes with a mask. I mean, there's all sorts of different things that that show up. And I mean, I've got a spot, literally, like I said, that's kind of the battle mile spot that says, okay, when something happens, there's my sandbag, my vest, my mask. What am I going to need for the next challenge? All ready to go. So
Could be carrying a fridge. You never know.
could be. I mean, who knows what's next? I mean, I look forward to them though. So, and that's it. I look forward to the challenge because it's something different, and that is what we need. It keeps us going. I've been finding motivation lately, and that's one thing I keep looking at is battle miles. It's something different. Let's go do it.
We try to keep like new challenges coming out, new races, or be like a new race coming out. Probably every quarter of the year, we'll have a new race come out or something. But if you're really looking for something fresh, Black Ops is the way to go. And when it comes to challenges, we try to keep everything as simple as possible because we don't want it overcomplicated. I've seen some virtual races where they have like a huge long list of things you have to do, and you pretty much have to carry a list with you when you run. And we don't want it to be that confusing. I think it's what just makes battle miles awesome in my opinion. It's just the simplicity of everything and the variety. It's just a lot of fun.
And it is, and that's one thing that I really like is, I mean, I don't think I've seen one race that had more than 4 movements.
Yeah, that's correct. We try. That's where you're.
It's usually about 4 is about the max, and so it's just I have to remember, to run, and whether I'm wearing a vest, and then those 4 movements, and that's it. Which to me is awesome. I mean, because like you said, I don't want to carry. I've done those races where it's like there's 15 different movements. So I've got my screenshot on my phone and I'm stopping to look and go, which one did I do? What's next? And it's like, no, it's just, those 4 movements. And then the next one, if you want to have different movements, have it on the next challenge, which is awesome.
So sometimes I'll go out and I'll run and I'll try to think of something crazy to do. And when I invented downfall, I came up with that idea. I was running and it was pouring rain and I was like, I'm going to try to see 10 burpees is rough enough as it is, but let's see if I can do 100 burpees per mile. And after 4 miles, I was absolutely smoked. I was going to go for 10 miles, but that was the original idea, was to make it a 10 miler, something insane. But I felt like 4 miles was just perfect to completely smoke you. I mean, 400 burpees is you get injured pretty. If you go any further than that, you're probably gonna get injured.
Yeah, that one was interesting. Because the first one, when I did that one, it was a day where I didn't want to go out, so I just jumped on the treadmill, ran a mile, jumped off, did the burpees, and the hard part was I had to keep remembering to pause the treadmill.
Yeah.
Because on my if I tried going by my Fitbit as I was doing the burpees, it was counting distance.
Okay.
So I think by the time I finished, according to my Fitbit, I'd done almost 6 miles.
Yeah.
But according to the treadmill, I'd only done 4. So it's like I'm going off the lower of the
movement. It's tracking your movements. That's funny.
And there's been a couple where I've had to do that, where all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute, the Fitbit's showing a lot more than, okay, it's because it's showing
Like what you hear? Make sure and subscribe and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Be sure to find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you're using YouTube, please click the little red subscribe icon, then click the little bell for notifications of future episodes. And if you could, give us a thumbs up.
So I had a question for you. You said you lost a lot of weight. Did you run mainly on a treadmill, or did you run outside, or how'd you do it?
Mainly it's outside.
Mainly outside. So
I found paths around my neighborhood where some of it's sidewalk, and then it's a mix of sidewalk, trail, and track. So I kind of,
So I noticed whenever I was losing weight, I'd run like 100 miles a month on a treadmill. Didn't lose a single pound, but then I'd go outside and run 100 miles the next month, and I'd lose a whole bunch of weight, like 15 pounds or whatever. And I was a big believer in running outside, getting out, even if it's cold, raining. Since then, I've been a huge believer. Just get off that treadmill. Yeah. So that's why you'll see in battle miles, we highly encourage, if people to get off the treadmill, go run, because for that reason is I think that you'll see a more a bigger change in athletic performance if you run outside. But treadmill is always great. I mean,
it's great in a pinch, but for me, it's one of those I would prefer to be outside. So, like I said, I figured paths to be able to do it. From my house, there's a high school and a middle school right across from each other that have tracks on them. They're less than a mile and a half from my house. So I can run if I go to run on the track, I don't drive, I run to the track and I'll use the track. But also if I go past the school for another half a mile, there's a trail with, what is it? It's 300 feet elevation on a stairs that are like cut into the rock.
Yeah.
So I can use that. I'll use that trail too. And there's a couple trails down there. And then there's another hill that's a little bit farther over. So I incorporate outside quite a bit. I run on the treadmill maybe 3 or 4 times a month. I have it there just in case, but it's usually what it'll be is it's when I don't have time. Because I do run streak too, where I run at least a mile a day, at least. So a lot of times if I get home, I'm late, I'm in a hurry for something, I'll go out and run on the treadmill for a mile or 2, and then
run a mile every single day.
Yeah, every day, at least 1 mile.
That's awesome. That's how you build that consistency. That discipline is when you know, it sounds crazy. I mean, some people say you gotta have rest days, but if you're consistent, it becomes addicting. You can't
for me, a rest day is just 1 mile. Is my rest day. I'll still run a mile, but that's it. But and I'm on day when I'm going to run after this. I'll be at day 204 straight that I've ran a mile at least one day. That's 1 mile a day for 204 straight days. So
that's awesome. Congratulations.
I challenge myself to at least 100 purposeful miles every month.
Yeah.
So by purposeful, I mean, because I wear my Fitbit all day long. I don't count anything unless it's like put on my running shoes and I'm going to go out the door and run.
I'm the same way. I want it to be an official run.
Yeah, it has to be an official run or it doesn't count. So those 100 miles, purposeful miles, is running, not just because I'm a safety instructor. And when I instruct, I pace. So like today, I haven't ran yet. And my Fitbit already shows I've done 4.5 miles because I paced the whole day while I was teaching.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I know, like, I've challenged myself, like, okay, so now I've done, 100 miles in a month. December's coming up. Nobody likes to run in December because it's so cold. It's the winter months or whatever. So I'm like, I'm gonna do 100 miles in December outside and cold, and when you do stuff like that, you start noticing stuff like you're running, you're seeing Christmas lights and snowing or whatever. You're missing out on all that stuff if you're not doing that kind of stuff. So I can't encourage enough, like, get out there, run, get up the treadmill, that kind of stuff. That's kind of like where snowfall came into play. We tried to do something similar to that, but just encourage people out to get outside when it's cold. So that's
like, remember what was it? It was one day, I think the end of November or something. There was a guy that did, burpees out in the snow.
Yes.
Right? Challenge him.
Posts all over the place about that. It's so funny.
Yeah, I challenged him to do it or something. And then I'm like, if I see snow, I'll do it. And then it was like we were driving over the pass by my house. And I'm like, this is the only time we're going to see snow. So I told my wife, it's like, we got to stop and I need to go do burpees in that parking lot. And she's like, why? Like, because I told someone I would if I saw snow and I see snow. So I've got to do it.
Yeah. See, I was running and it started snowing. I'm like, well, I guess I can go ahead and do my snowfall challenge that I was thinking about. And that's just funny because I literally started snowing and I was trying to figure out what workout to do while I was running. And I'm like, well, I can go ahead and do the crazy snowfall challenge. It's snowing. It seems appropriate.
Yeah.
I didn't have 12 feet of snow or whatever. I saw some posts. I don't know how they did it. Like, you just can't. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Diving with all that snow. It's funny.
It is, but I mean, it's fun to see, how those things kind of go. And I mean, it's like one of those things, like you said, with Battle Miles, when you started it, you were like, is anyone really going to want to do this? And now, like you said, you look at the Facebook group and there's 1,500 people on there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's close to 2,000, I think now.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of competitors, and we need to do a better job at sending a lot of more people who sign up for Battle Miles to the group, because I think that's one of the greatest things about Battle Miles is the Facebook group. A lot of talking, a lot of encouraging each other to race and try challenges and stuff, and definitely need to do a better job of sending people to a group for sure.
Oh yeah, well, hopefully they find it. I mean, because it's one of those, like I said, it's an amazing community. Everyone's so helpful with each other, and they talk and they encourage each other to do it. And I have not seen like one time, and I think I've been on the group for a while now, for I think since I first bought it, so almost 9 months or so. I've seen like one time where there was negativity and it was gone, like almost immediately, and there was almost an immediate like apology from you guys saying, "Hey, oops, sorry about that."
Yeah, we see stuff like that. Like we really don't tolerate that at all. The group's too good. Everyone in the group doesn't deserve that at all.
No.
And you'll get kicked pretty fast if you're not showing good sportsmanship, because that's what we're all here for.
Mm-hmm.
The whole purpose of it is be community and help each other out. And it's just often, and I really appreciate the ambassadors too, our Battle Miles ambassadors. We have a lot of them. I think we had like 400 ambassadors, but there's a really tight group of 15 ambassadors that talk to each other and sending us messages and letting us know, hey, there's this negativity going on in the group. Can you address it? It's just great stuff. And they're sending us ideas, and they show a lot of love for Battle Miles, and we really appreciate that. I just want to give a shout out to our ambassadors. They do a great job helping us grow as a company and business.
I'm pretty sure BeastNet, I'd have to check with Don, but I'm pretty sure BeastNet's an ambassador.
That's great. Well, I appreciate that, guys.
We're an ambassador, so because Don yells at me all the time because I order stuff and he's like, "Did you use the ambassador code?"
The link.
Nope, completely forgot.
Yeah, so that's one thing that's been a huge helping Battle Miles grow and get out there, because there's still a lot of people that don't know what Battle Miles is or how it works. They'll probably see the ad and then kind of move on from it. But I think people are missing out. I think they should give it a try, because fun races, competitive, great community. I can't thank you guys enough for being a part of it.
And I mean, it's just amazing. Like, I said, I mean, the community and the challenges. I mean, it's something different. And a lot of us need that. I've been struggling with motivation lately, and that was one of my biggest things, because I haven't, like, part of it is I haven't had a challenge in a while. It's just I go out and run, and I'm hitting that point where I'm hitting that wall where I'm like, why am I doing this? And that's why I'm glad to hear that the this month's challenge is coming out. So it'll give me something to look forward to and do. And I mean, that's kind of what I would like is, I'll actually, like, right in front of me is the cards.
Yeah, there they are. Those are pretty scary when you see them come in the mail.
Yeah, so they come in the mail, and then I put the cards right there, and I keep them there because those are ideas for later. If I want to go out and just do something, I can go do one of those challenges because they're brutal. So Rampage.
I launched Black Ops, and I don't know if it's gonna be cheesy or not, but I'm just gonna make it hardcore. I want it to be like black envelopes and these little cards that you open up, kind of like surprise, like Christmas. And you're like, oh, okay, that's a lot worse than I was expecting, but let's go out and do it.
And that's what is cool. Like you said, I mean, it's in a little black envelope with the card, and then the metal and everything else is in another envelope, and you can't open that
until you complete the challenge.
Yeah. And I'll be honest, I'm a stickler for that. I won't open any of the packages until I finish the race.
Well, it's part of the experience too. Like when you're done, celebrate and you open up the package and you see your finisher medal, and it's just kind of a way to celebrate completing some ridiculous challenge. So I look at finisher medals, like some people don't understand why runners are so crazy for finisher medals and dog tags, patches. When you look at that kind of stuff, you look back and you have a flashback of that experience you had, and at the challenge, in my opinion. Like this is great. You collect them, and every finisher medal has a story of some crazy, maybe a life-changing challenge you went through. You never know. I mean, completing challenges like that definitely boosts your confidence to do other things that I'm sure a lot of people who completed death race never thought in their life they'd ever run that many miles. I can't say what those miles are, but that was the idea behind it. Like, yeah, top secret stuff.
Miles with some workouts. It's not just the mileage.
Yeah. You're never that lucky. There's not going to be any pure distance running in Battle Miles ever. So.
No, but that's what made it fun, was the fact that it was, because by the end of it, I mean, you're smoked because of how many miles you've done. And then it's like, those last couple, miles, you're still trying to do the workouts, and your whole body's just like, I hate you, but you just keep going.
Yeah. I think when I first launched it, I think I only did, well, I can't say that because I've given out too much details. I only did a portion of the challenge. I'm like, wow, that was horrible. Let's triple the distance and just launch it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And immediately everybody started signing up for it. And I think out of like 100 people, there's only like 3 finishers at first that were on a survivor leaderboard, which I loved. But and now it's like a race. There's so many people doing it. It's like a race now because the Survivor leaderboard became so big, so many people were taking on the challenge and completing it. I was expecting people not be able to do it. So that's where we came like, hey, we need something that's like impossible. We need an impossible race that people can do. They can always strive for, and maybe 1 or 2 people might be able to complete it one day.
And see, that's the thing. I think you need to come up with one now that's right in between the death and the impossible, like the undead or something, just something that's just, you know, it's attainable, but you're gonna not be happy about it, you know.
Yeah,
The death race, I first saw it. I thought that was gonna be death.
So a lot of the inspiration came from the Barkley Marathon. Have you heard of the Barkley Marathon?
Yes.
So a lot of that secretive, that was a huge inspiration. I was just watching that, you know, looking for like runner documentaries and stuff, and that was such a great documentary. If anybody hasn't seen it, they should watch it because it's pretty inspirational. And when I was coming up with challenges, you know, like what would be a cool name for like a secret challenge, and the death race is where the name came from.
Yeah, it's a death race.
Yeah, it really is.
It is, and it's, I mean, it was a blast though. I mean, it was so much fun to do, you know, do it with, you know, part of it with Brian, and it was just, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was pretty good, and I mean, I was pretty happy with myself that I finished it, but it wasn't, I was smoked. I mean, it was brutal.
Yeah, I was sore for a while after that one, for
Yeah.
sure. That was a tough one.
But it's definitely one to like train yourself back up to do again. So I mean, it's kind of one of those ones I want to do that one again, but you know, like I said, but eventually I want to do the impossible. But I feel like I gotta, in my own brain, for me, which, you know, I need to destroy the other races first before I do the impossible. It's kind of, like I said, I feel like I finished them, but I just finished them.
Well, it's only going to help you. So if you get, you know, into the, I guess, the athletic shape or the fitness you want to be at to crush all these other challenges, and you're satisfied, then you'll be more confident going into trying impossible race. And we're probably gonna roll out more strict guidelines of what we'd expect as proof for the submission. We ran into some issues in the past where I guess we weren't clear enough on what we expected as proof for the impossible race. So we'll be rolling that out soon. But that's one thing is if anybody does the impossible race, they got to show a lot of proof that they did the impossible race. There's some people that may have finished it, they just didn't provide enough proof to where we accept it, because I mean it's the mother load of all challenges, so we got to be able to, a reasonable person got to be able to believe that you complete the challenge, if that makes sense. So that's something that we're working on.
So it makes perfect sense. So it's one of those that, you know, I mean, integrity is one of those things you hope for, but at the same time, you also want to have that proof. Like if someone's saying they did it, and you're going to say, this is our guy, you want to have, you know, be able to, for your own integrity, to be able to say, we know this is our guy.
Yeah, so we actually have like secret judges that are always watching for stuff, and we've caught at least 2 cheaters before last year. As you know, I won't roll out our secrets, but it's funny when you catch them and you say, hey, you know, this is our proof, this is how we know you cheated. They don't say anything back, they just kind of drop off the face of the earth because I guess they're embarrassed. But it's not worth it. Like, why would you cheat in a virtual race? I don't understand. It ruins the experience for everyone. So you should just not do it. And you get nothing out of it from cheating.
No. For me, it's one of those, I'm competing against myself. If all of a sudden I do a compete against myself and I do something good enough to get on the leaderboard, sweet. Yeah. If not, whatever. I'm competing against me. So if I cheat, I'm only cheating myself. So
we would love to. I'm just talking about the future of what our plans are. I would like to do stats too. I think it'd be cool if we had a spot on our page where we kept track of all-time records again. And I want to keep track of how many times did you win in a first place? How many times did you place first in a race? That kind of thing. I would like to keep like badges for that. We're working on mobile apps. We're trying to find a developer for that. There's a lot of cool things. I think Battle Mile's just getting started, so we're pretty excited.
Right on. Well, I can't wait to see what you have next. I mean, you know, like I said, the February's challenge should be in the mail, and we should be seeing that soon. And yeah, I can't wait to see what, you know, other races you're going to come up with, and to watch you guys grow and, you know, keep doing all your races and hopefully get stronger along the way. So.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I really appreciate all the support.
Oh yeah, anytime. Like I said, I love the community. I love your races. I love everything Battle Mile stands for.
Thank you. That means a lot. Seriously.
Is there anything else you want to say to listeners before we wrap this up?
Just do little things right and big things to follow. Get up early in the morning, run late at night, eat healthy, drink plenty of water. Just those kind of things, the little things lead to big things, like placing first in races and, winning OCR races that you go to, or, whatever. So yeah, just do the little things right, the big things to follow, and continue encouraging each other. And I appreciate everyone participating in our races.
Yeah. And I'm sure, I know when Don posts this, he'll probably post a link to hopefully through our thing to order some battle miles, and definitely get in there and order them. So, because yeah, I'm pretty sure we're ambassador, because Don yells at me every time I order something because I never go through the link. So,
Yeah.
So make sure and sign up, get out there, do them. If you want someone to do them with and you're in this, Seattle, Tacoma area, let me know. And I found a few places around here that work really good for them. So, and it's, yeah. So, and we can get out there and do them. I love doing them over again. Like I said, I'm going to be ordering the whole, bundle again, because I want to do them all again.
Might as well go all in, right?
Yeah. All or nothing, man. Go for it.
Yeah. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
Thanks for listening to the BeastNet podcast. If you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook, like and share the podcast. Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify. All these things will help to expand the show in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear.